Peace, family. Yesterday, a friend of mine called me, and her mother was like, "John, did you hear what happened?" I said, "No, what happened?" "Israel and the United States have just bombed Iran." And I'm like, I found that hard to believe. And the reason for that is this. Donald Trump just gave a speech a week ago during the State of the Union address. He sounded so incoherent, made so little sense. He was meandering through the whole almost 2 hours, accusing the Democrats of being insane. Wild accusations. How do you go from that mindset to launch a military campaign against Iran in less than a week? You know, when they did their campaign in Venezuela, when they captured the president of Venezuela and his wife, they was there less than a day. And that operation alone cost this country over $1 billion in less than 1 day. Very little weaponry was used. I can just imagine what this campaign is going to end up costing over. And people are saying that the reason why Donald Trump is doing this is to cover up from the fact that they don't want the Epstein files to be exposed. So they're using this as a distraction. Well, to me, I don't believe it. And I also don't believe that the people are to the point where they're ready to give up on this country. Because if they had been, they'd have been gone. But John, what do you mean? If the people say they're tired, they're gonna quit. They prove it. Prove it. Okay. If the people say they're tired, if the people say they've had enough, and these Epstein files reveal what they think is in there, let's say everything that comes out of Epstein's files is 100% true, and this is the last final straw. Tell me then, when was your bags packed? When in your mind did you say to yourself, "This is it"? If they do one more thing, I'm making arrangements. I'm calling my sister. I'm calling my family. I'm getting money set up aside so when I can leave, I don't have. When did you start doing that? Because if the Epstein files has information on the courts, on the politics, the government, the businesses, the economic leaders, the industries that has been working with, collaborating with, sexually exploiting children globally, unless these are all new businesses, new industries, new institutions, when did you start packing your bags to get ready to leave from the old institutions? Because see, the bottom line is this. If this country, if the people in this country was really to the point where they wanted to change and abandon this way of life, they would have started packing their bags years ago. When Lyndon B. Johnson deceived the people about the Tonkin Gulf incident and sent hundreds of thousands of military in the South Korean War, who said that they sank a battleship that was never there, and thousands of soldiers died, handicapped, mentally impaired for the rest of their life. You people did nothing. When you look at the courts and how they have robbed and deprived black people, denying them basic respect and dignity, you people did nothing. When you look at all the atrocities that this country and this government has been perpetrating domestically and internationally, you people done nothing. When the cigarette manufacturers will sit up there in front of national TV talking about how cigarettes do not cause cancer, while in their internal memos they were saying that they wanted to get children, or get customers as young as possible. They started targeting children in their advertisement, knowing that cigarettes cause cancer. And when that was revealed, you people did nothing. When the beef manufacturer said that the steroids that they feed to the cows has no effect on the people. And then within a matter of years, children started going into puberty earlier. Kids start growing up in mass overnight. You people did nothing. When 9/11 happened, thousands of people unalived. The government was said to be involved. When those buildings collapsed, did they go through it with the fine-tooth comb to find out who did it, who was responsible? No. What they do, they took the metal and they donated it overseas. How ironic was it for them to have these buildings collapse and have ships from overseas available to take this metal over? How ironic was it? You people did nothing. Thousands of people from that incident got cancer and breathing that asbestos. Government denying service and treatment to these people. You did nothing. And now you want to sit up here and say if these same businesses, these same industries, these same government, now if they sexually traffic children, now that's your final line? That's it. But while cigarette manufacturers plotting to give children cancer, oh, that's not the final line. But if they use them for sexual exploitation, now you're you know what? This makes no sense. And you know what? And like I said, and all through that, I didn't even mention Donald Trump. Not one time. But I'm finna mention him now. Because see, all Donald Trump is now, he's the illuminating substance that you spray, and then it just shines. When you shine a light on it, it shows you all the stains are at. That's what Donald Trump is. So all the times you've been snuggling up, getting comfortable, laying around, when this shine the light and you see exactly what you've been laying in, that's all Donald Trump is illuminating substance for you to see what you've already been. When did you pack your bags? When this government was shut down, and the courts said to at least open it up so you can fund the SNAP program, where you can feed the poor, where you can feed the children, where you can feed the disabled veterans. Can you at least do that? When Donald Trump said no, was that your final line? And if it was, and if this Epstein file is your final line, this is a sad testimony to the people. Because I don't think nothing that this country can do that's going to literally make you want to tear down the sign on this country, put up a new one, and say now open up under new management. I can't wait until these Epstein files come out and it reveals everything that you thought was in there and more. And I wonder what excuse you will come up with then to continue the servitude of this system instead of creating your own. But you know what? These are my thoughts, my opinions. I invite you to leave yours in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.